There's a motorcycle club over there. They got some hellacious bumps in the road. It's an Iron Coffins, I guess is their name. I tried getting in there one time, get a tour of the place, but they weren't exactly friendly. It seems stereotypical, you know, you go to a motorcycle club and you ask to get in, what'd you expect? Well, you know, most of these expectations are blown out of the water when you actually experience them down here. Girls on the street are great. Typical residents, homeless, are interesting and nice to talk to. But they got me on that one. That old motorcycle group was not friendly. But, you know, I've been to churches where the personnel working there were not friendly. So I'm not giving the old motorcycle club a bad rap. I don't know why, but this just seems to me like the scariest gas station in the world. It's just got a look about it. Probably in there crocheting, trying to bust these stereotypes out of my mind. I'll tell you one stereotype though. That's old Delray. Interesting as hell. Was back then when it was nice, and it is now. Gotta cut down these streets, see what's happening. And that's all automated now, I think. No, maybe not. There's a car there. You know, switching trains and stuff. This is like the area that goes under the Rouge Bridge, which you can look up on Google as well. This just got totally rebuilt both ways. It's a 2-year project. And it's open again, and it's like the major bridge coming in and out of Detroit from the southern suburbs. I'm sure these people went through hell while it was being rebuilt. It really needed it though. Big, huge 4-foot sections of missing concrete. It's an interesting place back here. You can tell Detroit at one time, when there was a lot of money around, really had civil engineers go through and lay out the city pretty well. I still think Detroit has one of the best road systems as far as layout and the way that the roads intersect in the country. You look at Ford Street, Gratiot, Woodward, Michigan Avenue. You got 94, 75. It's just comes into the city nicely. It's not so in Chicago. In other big cities, I can't think of any offhand. This used to be all wooded and weeds and stuff, and they've torn that all out, and you can actually see this concrete company now. So you can see some of the new drainage they've laid out for the bridge. They were gonna lock this. Yeah, I guess they finally did lock it. Put a chain link so you can't drive back there. I knew that was coming. This is Foreman Park, which is an old park that hasn't been used. You can always tell by these large mature trees still standing from years ago. This lady keeps excellent care of her home. I've never seen her. I'd love to talk to her. But these are hardcore Delray residents. They're not going anywhere. That's a club like a VFW, I think, over there. Over there is Morton Salt Company. Comes a train. The trains where they're doing these switching, the light doesn't come on till they're pretty close because they're going so slow. They've really cracked down on dumping in Detroit. They've put hidden cameras and they're prosecuting more people. See, no dumping. Because I'm sure they wrote tickets for dumping and then the guy got a lawyer and it's like, well, there's no signs for no dumping. Well, there are now. Those are old railroad tracks from years ago. Those are not used. This is Still Delray. These people right here in these homes, they really go all out. I don't care what it is. Christmas, Easter, Halloween. This whole group of homes along here really decorate big time. Can't take the old Christmas spirit from them. No way. Old Daisy's hot today with that sun shining through. They redid these bridges, the 4th Street Bridge and the West Jefferson Bridge. They're all doing a lot better. There's that train you saw the light on earlier. This is coming up to 4th Street. It's one of the major streets in and out of Detroit. There's an east-west and a east-west line that's split by Woodward Avenue. Woodward's changed so much over the years. You can't drive it all the way down to the foot of West Jefferson, East Jefferson like you used to be able to. You gotta like kind of drive around. So even though it still splits east-west, it's kind of confusing as you get downtown. So these are the areas, I'm a little west of where I usually see the women. But I do see them. That's Woodmere Cemetery, super historic cemetery. Look that up as well, Woodmere, W-O-O-D-M-E-R-E. This is just like a lot of industrial companies, muffler shops, scrap steel. I'll be coming up to the area where I usually run into women to interview, see how it goes. Ham Palace. Not really into ham. You know, a lot of people that don't come from Michigan are always asking me about party stores. That's what we call them here in Michigan, where you go and get beer and pop. You know, like milk, lunch meat, party store. People think it's weird, especially down south. Like, what are you talking about, a party store? Well, that's what I'm talking about. And these bumps aren't as bad as it sounds on camera. This microphone is super sensitive. If you ever notice when I'm out walking around, it sounds like I'm about ready to have a heart attack. And maybe I am, but it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like I'm breathing really loud. So here's like the main drag for interviews. This produce company up here, it's the longest continuous open hallway of a building in the country. I've never been in there. You can go in there and buy produce yourself. You don't have to be like a commercial customer. But you can kind of get an idea how long it is when I drive by it, because it starts where the trucks are pulled up and goes all the way to the end where the trucks end. There's a famous hamburger place across the street called Mott's, M-O-T-Z. I've had them before. I didn't really like them. Actually, I thought they were terrible hamburgers. But these places, you know, once they get this mystique of being around 50 years or something, I guess it doesn't need to be good anymore. They're terrible. I could take you anywhere and get a better hamburger, including McDonald's. So you'll see where this hallway would start here. It's old buildings, been here forever. They deliver to the Eastern Market. And you'll see it's a very busy place. You know, when I went into that Chase Bank earlier, they have to buzz you in to the bank. I don't know what criteria they use, but I was buzzed in. Probably takes a real close-up photograph when they hit the buzzer. There's something to it, believe me. There's the old Southwestern High School. A giant factory behind it. The city got bamboozled into giving a sweetheart deal. This place was supposed to fix the front facade of this building. Didn't do shit. It's all graffitied now. Looks like a mess. Windows caved in. Another con job. See now, where you see this big vacant area up here to the left, this is where a lot of the women would be hanging out back in the day. Well, there's nothing there anymore. It's gone. All torn down. So consequently, they don't have any place to go to the bathroom, get a pop, sandwich, warm up, whatever. Now, it's not as bad when we get a few lights up, but it's still inconvenient. And when it's cold out here and they're hustling, that's the last thing you want to do is be walking a mile just to get warm. The roads down here are in terrible shape. Now Marguerite will be over on the other side of Dragoon, I think, this service drive. If I don't see anybody out here, I will cut over there. That's Campbell right there. See that big building right there, that brown building? That's where Angel had lived. There was a party store right here, just on the other side of that equipment, and that was all torn down, and this is where most of the women would hang out. You'll still see them around here in these gated businesses, or hanging out right around the corner here near the Chase Bank because it's safer. There's cameras and, you know, just a lot more attention's paid to the bank. I see the side of this caved in. Must have just fallen apart. So nobody's out here today. So far. So I'll see if I can catch Marguerite before the sun goes down.